It really is fundamental to any sustainable improvement. Without getting this concept of operating discipline right, a business can't sustainably improve in any way. Yeah, hi. I wrote this book, Simplifying Mining Maintenance, some time ago, and I wrote it really just to share some of the things that I've found during my career which help people get the basics of maintenance right. And it's the fundamentals that we find wrong all the time wherever we go. So I wrote it to get it out there so that people can take it and hopefully help them improve their business, or at least their maintenance. And I decided that maybe it's worth sharing a series of key points from the book, just to help people that don't necessarily have a heap of time to read it. So the book is structured in two parts really. The first part is really around some models and fundamentals and a bit about the thinking and the experiences that I had that led to what I shared in the second part of the book. And the second part of the book is structured in 5 areas where we have problems. Unscheduled downtime, scheduled downtime, budget overruns, people problems, and handover from operations. So that's sort of the structure of the second part of the book. The first part of the book, as I said, are really around the values and the principles that underpin that journey. And it really is a journey, and so you can use this book to help prepare your department for that journey from, if you're having problems, to best practice. And whilst we start at unscheduled downtime and progress through, these things are not necessarily sequential. There's overlap, of course. Yeah, so the first key point that I wanted to share was really around this excellence model, what I call the excellence model. Wherever I go where there's problems and the inability to get that sustainable improvement, this is generally what's happening. It really is fundamental to any sustainable improvement. Without getting this concept of operating discipline right, a business can't sustainably improve in any way. So what this model really is saying is that everything starts in business with our processes, our standards, our procedures. And in maintenance specifically, that's around our PM checklists that guys use to go out and look at the equipment, condition monitoring routines, all of those sort of things. We have those documented. 99.9% of sites have them documented at least. And often we see that the site's not really happy with their performance. They've done some sort of evaluation, maybe benchmarking, and they're below other sites, or they just simply want to improve. So they've identified the need or the opportunity to improve. They go through some improvement process. 9 times out of 10, they update those documents, procedures, standards, etc. But if there's no discipline to actually executing those documents as they've been written with quality, we see that the site finds themselves in this improvement loop where they continue to make improvements and nothing really sustainably improves. They don't really get sustainable reliability improvement or sustainable availability improvement. We've seen it heaps of times where people, for example, they redo the PM checklists and they decide, okay, this time we're going to use RCM, next time we're going to use PMO a few years later because they're still not getting the results. A few years after that, okay, this time we're just going to get some good, experienced people and they're going to redo the PM checklist. And we go around this loop all the time trying to improve, but in actual fact, the problem is that the PMs aren't executed properly. So we need to have and make sure that we've got this little plan, do, check, act cycle, or this discipline to make sure we do what we say we do in the first place. We've also seen that cycle in safety where there's an incident, people weren't really following the processes to start with. We go through the improvement cycle, we update the procedures and make it even harder to comply with. Yeah, look, hopefully that's of use, and that is fundamental for success and for overcoming the 5 areas of problems that I talk about in the second part of the book, and I'll share those with you in subsequent key points.